The feelings come because the change has already happened. This week I've noticed the leaves on the large tree in the middle of our lawn starting to change colour, even though it's still summer. The hydrangeas, once white, are now soft blues, mauves and pinks. It made me think about seasons within seasons. Within a season, things are always changing, and that is the same for us. Even small shifts can signal something deeper, like the sunlight catching a leaf just so, or a breeze moving through a branch. It's often subtle at first. A feeling arrives, or you notice you're thinking about something in a completely new way. You read something or watch something, and it ignites a spark within you. And suddenly you're curious about a hobby, a practice. Maybe you've been thinking a lot about a recent situation you were in, and it's been going over and over in your mind. And you find yourself wishing that that was your life. Take a moment now. Think, have I noticed a small shift in myself lately? Sometimes those shifts come with grief or regret. At other times, they're accompanied by relief and joy. When you notice it, pay attention. What does it feel like in your body? I remember my therapist once saying, the feelings come because the change has already happened. Last week, I talked about feeling unusually tired. At first, I assumed it was only physical, but it wasn't. Driving to meet my friend for our regular Saturday morning walk, as I drove down the hill, the tears came. I sobbed. And suddenly, it became very clear. I realised I was grieving. Grief at the loss of family. With having just come through the Christmas period and the holiday season, I'd been very aware of friends spending time with their families. And there was a part of me that wished I had that too. I remembered a friend sharing a holiday family photo, and I felt a small pang of longing. This isn't to say that I'm not incredibly grateful for my family. Craig and our bossy little border terrier Sid. But there was sadness too, and I hadn't acknowledged it. Just like that tree slowly changing until one day I noticed the yellow leaves, something had been shifting inside me long before the emotion arrived. Even subtle changes in nature remind me that shifts often happen quietly and only later do we notice. When we don't acknowledge our emotions, they create dis-ease in the body. For me, that showed up as exhaustion. Yes, I'd also quit a supplement at that time which contributed, but it wasn't the only factor. Something I've experienced many times before, even in my younger years, when I suffered from depression, was extreme fatigue, that heavy feeling in my body that just wouldn't go away no matter what I did. I now realise that if I had paused earlier, through journaling or quiet reflection on those thoughts I was having around that family photo I'd seen, or the awareness of people sharing the time with their extended families, I would have connected with my grief sooner. What I'm wondering is this: is there an emotion you've experienced or noticed lately that you haven't fully explored? As I've walked through this season of grief, I have been nourishing myself with good food. I have been resting, making sure that I continue my exercise, and grounding myself by walking outside on the grass, hugging my favourite tree, gardening, and breathing deeply. One of the things I learned to do after a period of sadness was to allow myself to enjoy the things that I love. So I have started watercolour painting, which has been wonderful. I brought some roses inside, painted some little rocks to put in the garden, and we had the most wonderful day out in our camper van on Sunday, where we went to another local beach, went for a lovely walk, had some lunch in the van, and just chilled out for the afternoon. Once again, my recent experience of grief has taught me that I will never have this all figured out. It will never be wrapped up in a box and finished. Life is one long journey of lesson after lesson, and I am so grateful for that.